What's up, everybody? I'm Cameron Murray.
Cam Burbs, Tommy Burbs, Alex, I'm Small, so TheMMAVault. Make sure to sub, like the video if you enjoy it. We're going to be uploading weekly content, predictions, and breakdowns of different cards, even fight nights. Give our thoughts on news, whatever in the UFC. Yeah.
Yeah, for this one, we're gonna break down UFC 311, and the first fight on the card is Tajir Ulanbekov versus Clayton Carpenter.
Alright, who wants to start? Alright, I'll start. I'll start it. Okay, let's go. If you want, I'll read what I wrote down. Give me your thoughts. Tajir Ulanbekov, he's solid wrestling. He had poor takedown defense in his last fight, but he got the job done. He was supposed to fight Jocko Van, but he missed weight really bad. Had it he was struggling to get off the scale when he was weighing in. I got Clayton Carpenter is a slick grappler coming off a submission win. Pretty sure he's isn't he 9-0?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he likes to go fast, rushes forward, and was always on his toes, always hunting for the finish. It was pretty clear in his last fight that he needs to work on his striking, because when I watched that fight, man, the striking was kind of poor. So, so Tajir's a massive step up for Clayton, and I'm really thinking thoughts here, so I think we'll go 91, and I think the end of the fight, give me Tajir by fucking boring Russian decision.
Yeah, I had the same thing that Tajir has great grappling. And he just won by submission the last two times he was in the octagon. But he's had a long layoff. He hasn't fought since December of 2023. And I said that Clayton Carpenter has a big step up in competition for this one. He's not really going to be as dominant as he was in his last fight. So I have Tajir winning by unanimous decision. Unanimous decision.
Yeah, that's what I got it. I got Tajir submission again, 3 in a row. I think Carpenter's got solid. I don't know how good his submission defense is, but he's not too tested. I think Tajir can get a finish. I actually think he's pretty solid, but I don't like this. I don't like this matchmaking. I can see this going to the decision for sure, but I just took the sub. I like Tajir's low kicks. I think he can work those. I can definitely see this going to a decision. Just Carpenter's very athletic. He's a solid grappler, and he hunts for the finish on the ground. He's not that dangerous in my opinion, especially on the feet, and I don't think Tajir is too bad of a striker. So I don't know. I don't think he'll be able to find himself.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he might have poor takedown defense, so I feel like if Carpenter can just get in a good position on the ground, maybe get Tajir on his back, then the fight might be different. But I mean, other than that, I think Tajir is just going to get the decision win. So that's valid. Biggest thing for me about Carpenter is just this dude's striking defense is so poor. I can see. We'll see. His strikes are just I don't know. He's got to work on that. Hopefully he improves. But yeah, I don't He almost seems demented to me when I was watching him. But we'll see how it goes. Carpenter could pull it off. He seems like he's got so much athleticism. So, yeah.
I think it will be competitive. Actually, it's not that I'm saying that Tajir will, dominate, but I think it'll be close, but just Carpenter's, that's a really big step up in competition.
Yeah,
Tajir's ranked.
like I said. And I don't like these odds too much. But I still have to here.
Hmm.
I know the odds are like, dude, they could maybe be like a little closer. Dude. I mean, this guy's 9-0, but they have him at like 250, like plus 250. That.
Um,
Are we moving next fight?
yeah, next fight is Ricky Chirisos versus Bernardo Sopaj. And I'll do this one. So I said that Sopaj is last time out. He faced a really good rising prospect in Vinicius Oliveira. He got KO'd in one of the top highlight knockouts of 2024. But in that and yeah, in that fight, Sopaj had a really good first round and he won that round. And he was on his way to doing the same in the second round until Oliveira was able to scramble and take over the fight. Get that knockout. But he's facing Ricky Chirisos, who's lost to Raul Rosas Jr. in his last fight by submission. He's not really much of an active fighter. The last time he won was in 2022. He was taken down pretty easy in that fight. Um, he was taken down 7 times and once in the first 42 seconds of the fight. So I have Sopaj grappling this one out to a unanimous decision because I just don't think that. Yeah, I just don't think Chirisos is really that good, and Sopaj is just going to be relentless and just keep up the pressure.
I agree with that. I got him with the KO. I really like this dude Sopaj's hands. He's so fast. He has that KO power. He's gonna be looking for that finish. And with Tercios, just not great in my opinion. He leaves his hands down in these big exchanges. I can see Sopaj backing him up. I can see him. I can see this fight going a lot of ways, but I think Sopaj should be able to lift him, drop him, finish the fight.
I mean, from what I've seen for both two fighters, I mean, they're both always moving forward. Teresios is always on he's always on his toes. He's fast. But yeah, like you said, he's got to get his hands up and
Yeah,
so
I don't consider him coming off that knockout. It was a pretty vicious knockout, but so that was like the only reason I was
the way he hit the canvas when he got there with that, oh my goodness, that was bad.
Also, are we skipping Perez?
Yeah.
I'm also going to talk about.
Well, don't talk about it. Just let's just have our predictions.
Talking about it. Don't worry.
So, Caro Rosa versus Aline Perez.
I picked Perez. I flipped a coin. And it landed on Perez.
I took. I took.
What I've seen, bro, I saw the odds for this fight, and I thought it was absolutely whoever made those odds, I think they're retarded, but they got Alan Perez at plus 300. I feel like Alan Perez is legit just gonna take her down and just sit on her on the mat, and she's gonna get a boring decision.
I think.
I mean, it wouldn't even bet on her, but I don't know. I don't yeah, it's gonna bet on her as well.
I have Caro Rosa winning because I think that she's the better fighter all around. And I said Perez is going to be looking to grapple, but I think Rosa's just going to get the submission, round 2.
Is Carol Rosa she's Brazilian, right?
Yeah, she is Brazilian.
Nakamura.
The next fight, is Rinya Nakamura. Rinya Nakamura versus Miun Gafarov. I said Nakamura is a heavy favorite in this one, but I'm not really impressed by anything that he does. His fight style, although he's pretty much dominated all of his fights. It's nothing too eye popping for me to pick him in fights where he's going to be facing better competition. So I have him win by unanimous decision.
You know what Nakamura's record is?
I think he's 13-0. I'm pretty sure.
I know he's on the
Let me go look.
I know he's going on my phone right now. He's on there.
He's 9-0.
Oh. Yeah, so he has 9 wins with 6 stoppages too. So
Yeah.
That's pretty good, man. And he also has like great grappling, and didn't get too much for this fight, but I just got Nakamura winning by submission. That's my take for this fight. Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts?
I got Nakamura by decision, but I wrote down that these are horrible odds, and Goffrey is at great value. This is like a wrestling background versus Sambo background. Goffrey's solid, but Nakamura is like has an elite wrestling background. I believe Olympics. I'm not positive. He's just so strong, athletic. He's smothering with his grappling. He'll lay on top of you. I think he'll dominate this fight from the top position. But I don't know. He didn't look great on the feet against Carlos Reyes.
Bro, Goffrey looks like one of those monkeys from Zombies in BO6. Yeah, but I got him losing by submission. I feel like he's legit just gonna get put to the ground and submitted immediately.
I can see a finish for sure. I just took decision, but
Next up, Zachary Reese versus Asmat Bekov. Anyone want to kick this one off?
alright. I got Zach Reese by KO still. I really only see him winning by KO. So if he doesn't get that KO, I don't think he's winning. I don't think he's winning the decision. He's definitely not getting the sub. The code is a great grappler, so it's great. But if Zach Reese can really keep the fight on the feet, I think he'll definitely take this. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage. He's huge. He's giant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think also his opponent took the fight on short notice.
He did take the fight on short notice, and I want to add that Zachary Reese is the underdog in this fight.
Yeah. Plus 150.
Mm-hmm.
In DraftKings. But I know it's because of his takedown defense. Asmat's he's a former champion, right, in the LFA, whatever that league is.
Mm-hmm.
I know he had like a belt there, but do you know how many fights he's had in the UFC?
I don't think he's had any.
I think he's had one, and I think I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if he had one, but I thought he did.
Let me go look.
Also, is Grant Dawson before this?
Yeah.
I think he's
Dawson Diego Ferreira. I thought
it's before. I have Zachary Reese winning by TKO in round 2. I said that. Yeah, he hasn't fought in the UFC.
not like a guess, but
I don't know. Volkov is just like he's got good cardio, and I didn't like Zach Reese's takedown defense too much, so I don't really see him winning a decision. I just think he's got that lights out power. He's gonna outstrike Volkov on the feet, piece him up.
Yeah, I said.
He'll be able to defend those takedowns, and he's so big. Like he's gotta be stronger.
I said that Zachary Reese had a really good performance his last fight. He dominated the entire fight. I mean, he let his opponent have his moment in round 3, but nothing too threatening to
what was it?
Zachary Reese.
I'm a big Zach Reese fan. I'm not gonna lie. I like this dude a lot.
I guess we'll move on to the next fight. Bogdan Guskov versus Billy Alakena. I'll just add before anyone starts that Guskov was supposed to fight Johnny Walker, but he pulled out due to injury, so.
Honestly, I don't even have too much on this fight, to be honest. Not very for these two. I'm trying to thoughts though.
I said that I have Guskov winning by KO, because I said that Billy Alakena is going to have at least one round in him, and I think that Guskov is going to be able to withstand what's coming at him and knock him out in round 1.
Gustav via decision. I originally had the KO, but this dude Gustav is like, he is miles bigger than Spivak. Like, that is one thing to take into account. He is much, much, much bigger. And I don't even think Gustav looked like so elite or anything. I don't even think he's, too special of a fighter. And I could see Spivak getting the submission. He had an armbar finish his last round in like 30 seconds. I just think Gustav will be able to box him up, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so who was Johnny Walker supposed to play? It was
Bob.
Gustav?
He's supposed to fight Guskov.
Gustav's very well-rounded.
Wait, why did Johnny Walker pull out?
He had a severe injury. I think it was to his shoulder.
Oh, shit. Yeah, was it the same shoulder he probably injured you in the work?
I think so. I think it was his right shoulder.
Yeah, that guy's an idiot, dude. Johnny Walker is something else.
Next up, Diego Fajeda versus Grant Dawson. I actually changed my pick earlier today. I originally had Grant Dawson going into this one, but I said that Fajeda has great grappling defense and he has really good striking with alarming KO power. And I said that Grant Dawson's obviously going to look to, grapple this entire fight. But I have Diego winning by split decision.
I have Dawson by decision. First thing that I want to make a point of, Grant Dawson is very, very strong. That's very apparent from his last fight.
Mm.
Obviously, like you said, he's going to look to grapple right away. He's going to look to control the fight, dominate from the ground. Try to get some strikes down there, but he's going to control the fight on the cages wherever. I think he'll be able to just wrestle his way to the victory. I definitely think Diego has a good shot. Like, it's almost 50-50 to me, but I don't know. Dawson really can't get the finish. I don't think he could, but I don't think he will against Barrera. Barrera's tough to definitely make it to the decision. But, being almost 40, I was taking that into account. And I think Dawson just trying to come up. I think he'll have the cardio over him. He'll be able to wrestle. He'll be able to wrestle to a decision.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably, this is my prediction. Grant Dawson's gonna, go into this fight, just start grabbing Diego Fajeda and just set on him, grab him, control time for the decision win. But, I mean, Fajeda has, he's relentless, dude. He never quits. I mean, he could probably, I know he has good cardio and that too, but, want to know something funny? His takedown accuracy, he has 30%, bro. Yeah, that's pretty poor from what I've seen from other fighters. But overall, I would just do Grant Dawson by boring decision. I feel like he's just gonna I don't think there's gonna be a finish in this fight unless like a lucky shot, knockdown, lucky submission or something. But yeah, I just got Dawson's control time boring decision victory.
Yeah. Dawson might get a little on the ground and pound, but I think most of his offense is going to come from control, ground and pound, and that's about it. It depends on I might consider switching this pick, but Dawson will be able to grapple his way. He'll be able to those takedowns, I think.
Next up is a heavyweight clash between Jailton Almeida versus Sergey Spivak. I said that Almeida has better grappling, and he's going to try to keep the fight on the ground. I said that Spivak, he has good striking, and he has good enough grapple defense and good enough grappling skills that he can, maybe get up a couple times and keep it on the feet. But I just said that Almeida is just going to be relentless and control this fight. So I have Almeida winning by unanimous decision. I don't see him getting the submission. Definitely not the KO. I could see Spivak maybe knocking him out, but I just think Almeida's, I just think he's just gonna, drag this fight out, make it boring.
Yeah, I'll take Murray. I got Almeida by round 1 TKO.
No, I have Almeida. I have Almeida winning. Yo, you think Almeida's gonna win by TKO?
Yeah, dude.
Man.
Either that, or he's legit just gonna get Spivak on the ground and just if he gets Spivak on the ground just on his back, bro, I don't even see Sergey getting up at all, to be honest. But I mean, people think that Almeida like
I don't know,
was
man.
out because of that last loss he had. I think it was Curtis Blades,
It,
right?
it was Curtis Blades, but
And stuff.
if he's going to stand with Sergey Spivak, I think he would get knocked out, and that's why I think he's going to want to grapple with him. I don't think he trusts his striking enough with any of these top heavyweights.
I got Almeida South. I mean, like, that could be a threat in a submission too. I really see this fight ending as two outcomes. I see a submission from either fighter or a decision for Almeida. The rock out good low kicks that could do a number on Almeida, but I think Almeida can defend the submission. He can control the fight on the ground and edge out the decision. I think it would probably be a closer fight than most
Mhm.
things, but
Mm.
I definitely have Almeida. He's more dangerous, more of a threat. Definitely more likely to get a finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, another with Spivak is like he can get the takedown sometimes, but like he has a problem with like control time. Like if you get someone down, like they'll just stand up immediately. Like that's what I've seen from his former fights. But I think that's an area where he struggles in. It's just like getting control time on the ground and stuff.
Hmm.
I would say.
Next up is Peyton Talbot versus Renoy Barcelios. I didn't really say much about this one. I think Peyton Talbot's going to knock him out in round one. I think it's going to be a pretty. Yeah, I said it's another softball for him. I think after this fight, we're going to see him start to fight guys closer to the top 15, some gatekeepers. Maybe eventually a Rob Font at the end of the year.
Yeah, like Payne Talbot's like way more active in my opinion. I mean, if he could just stay active, like how many times a year has he fought? Like 2 times a year.
Last year, he's had a 7-month layoff now. He's been off for 7 months.
Yeah. If he fought like working consistently, I feel like he can get up there really fast.
Hmm.
But in this fight, I have him winning by like TKO real fast.
Yeah.
So, I think this is gonna be an easy fight.
Yeah, I got KO, TKO. Barcelona's alright, but this dude is so chinny. I don't think he's been knocked out, but I was watching an Umar fight, and this dude got dropped by nothing, like a weekend shot. So he's way too chinny for a precision striker like Talbot.
Hmm.
So precise, and he's still got a powerful punch. He'll be able to land a shot for, a lot of shots, and he'll definitely find the finish. I'm pretty confident in Talbot, KO, TKO. First round, maybe second round. I don't think he gets past the second round.
Yeah, I like that take.
Next up, Kevin Holland versus Renier de Ridder.
I got RDR by submission. This is a 50-50 fight, too. But first things first, RDR has the advantage on the ground.
Of
He's
course.
going to be looking for the sub pretty often. I mean, it's kind of goofy fight, but I think RDR is just looking for that sub. He's going to try and get it the whole fight. I don't think Kevin beats him up too bad in the stand-up, to be honest, and I don't think RDR looked as bad as everyone said. I was rewatching this fight. That was strange matchmaking in the first place, and I don't know. It was kind of a war, but I think he had a decent performance. I don't think it was as bad as everyone else did. So.
Um,
I mean that striking is like looked awful, bro. RDR striking against Beershot, like oh my god. So I mean I feel like in the stand-up game I got Kevin Holland all day.
yeah, I said.
If Kevin Holland just gets in a bad spot on the ground, I don't know. I mean I feel like RDR could look for the submission or just either that or control time. I mean unless Kevin Holland pulls out like another crazy arm bar he did against what's his name?
Chiesa.
That
I just don't trust Holland, dude. Picking Holland is scary.
I think it was.
I don't know. There's some good opponents, so.
I said that de Ridder's striking is bad, and he got dropped by GM3. So I believe that Holland he'll get a TKO in the middle of round one. There are a lot of people, like to give de Ridder props for getting double champion one, but outside of Demetrius Johnson and maybe some other fighters, their competition in one is not levels close to what the competition is in the UFC. So I don't really think that DeRitter's good. Um, I think he's a weird looking fighter. He's just ugly. Um, and I think Kevin Holland will knock him out.
I think I'm gonna be kind of surprised at Oliveira. He's not a great striker, but he's definitely gonna be able to defend against Kevin Holland and stand up and be able to not get dropped too bad. And he's getting his feeling. It's
Hmm.
gonna be an interesting fight. It's a goofy ass fight though.
Yeah.
Could go either way.
Oh man, it's just like a. I think they could have matched this, like made these matchmakings a little better on that fight.
I just don't like that he's going from GM3 to Kevin Holland. They're really trying to push him.
Kevin Holland's the gatekeeper. He's the one.
But yeah, I understand that. But it's going from GM3 to Kevin Holland is kind of a big jump.
Yeah, especially after it was a close fight. Getting on that performance.
Hmm. Um,
I could definitely see Holland pulling off a win, just not by submission. We got a finish or decision.
Yeah.
Next up, Yuri Prohaska versus Jamal Hill. Um,
It's the fight of the night, though.
I said
Fight of the night, bro.
I have.
I really don't know.
The main event. The real main event.
Well, now it is. But I said that Yuri against. I said that Yuri when he fought Rakic, he wasn't really looking good in the first round, and Rakic was looking really good in like a title contender possibly. But Yuri was able to come back and get the win. But he took a short notice fight against Alex Pereira and got brutally knocked out. And I don't think that his chin will ever be the same, especially since he fights with his hands a lot. And I think Jamal Hill has power, and I think he's gonna knock out Yuri in round two. And I think a lot of people are gonna see that Jamal Hill isn't just this really salty fighter. I think a lot of people underappreciate how good he is because Jamal Hill is a really good fighter, and I think that he is the biggest threat to Alex Pereira in that division.
Alright.
That's a
I
hot take,
think
bro.
this is a banger, bro. But, his ability to land so many strikes is going to be a factor. Like, 200 significant strikes against Gavin Teixeira is extremely impressive.
Hmm.
Yuri does not have a chin. Hill might not either, but he definitely has more of a chin. He's definitely more durable. Yuri, in the last 2 years, has got knocked out, countless times. So I think that's the difference makers. The chins, the durability, and Yuri coming off the knockout, not just against, some guy, but Alex Pereira. These guys are both really open to counters, but they're not good counter strikers. I think Jamal might be the better counter striker. He's got a good right hook into the counter, which might be open against Yuri. Both these guys have bad striking defense or not elite striking defense.
Hmm.
There are going to be some shots landed on. Now, left straight from Jamal Hill, I'm a big fan of that. I think he's going to be finding real success with that. Another thing I wanted to bring up was that their kicks. When I'm watching Jamal, he's kicking with intent to hurt. He's kicking hard, and he likes to sneakily throw some head kicks. Yuri only kicks to set up strikes. He's not really looking for damage when he strikes. He's just looking to set something up. But as like a goofy striker, he's obviously unpredictable. It's hard to prepare for him. Yuri has the slight grappling advantage. I don't think it matters at all. This fight is going to be decided in the stand-up. He's unpredictable. He's unorthodox, but I think Yuri might even be more powerful than Hill, which might be a hot take. But that right hand against Volkan Ozdemir was something special. Picture perfect knockout. Yuri's a dog. Yuri's a dog. We can't count him out. But as long as he goes down halfway, he's gonna.
I just scared for him, especially after getting knocked out that bad. He's gotten knocked out twice in the last like like he had a short notice fight. No, it wasn't short. Wait, was it short notice against the first time? I don't think it was.
No.
I,
Oh yeah, it was.
It was short notice. He's gotten knocked out a lot on short notice fights. I'm not. This isn't a short notice fight, but I'm just scared because he's gotten knocked out twice in the last year. So it's kind of hard to pick him when he's facing a guy with good power like Hill.
Alright, here's my take. So, obviously, I'm rooting for Yeri, dude, but if he's gonna stand there like this was and just take shots, defend jabs like with his head like that, dude, you're just gonna get chinned by Big Belly Hill and you're gonna get knocked out.
He has said that he doesn't want to fight with his hands too low. He says that's excessive, but we'll see.
Yeah, like his jabs is foreign, not the jabs, so yeah, but I mean, yeah, I feel like Jamal Hill's gonna utilize the leg kicks against Yuri because I feel like he's always been like open to those, like
Hmm.
especially against he's Rockets fight. His leg was like
Yeah, it
all goes
was
down.
it was bad.
I mean, if Big Belly Hill can do that, then I mean,
And the low kicks, the low kicks, the low kicks seem to knock out to set up the knockout against Yuri. So if Yuri can defend those low kicks, I actually think he could win just because those low kicks really every time someone starts to get going on the calf kicks, he just tends to get knocked out. So.
yeah,
It's the fight on that KO though. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I just hope he wins, man. I just want to see Yuri win again. So I just don't want to.
we need to hear your voice scream.
Um.
Have to just get like his or oh wait no he shaved his head actually.
Yeah, he did.
For cancer, that's tough. Now he has to win.
Yeah.
I would think so. He might win, but I can't pick him. After that,
Next fight is Merab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov.
alright, I'll start.
Okay.
My hot take. This is my hot take.
Okay, I'll start.
I think that people are underestimating Marab's wrestling. Although Umar's like really strong, can probably hold him on the ground. But I don't know, man. I just have a weird feeling that Marab's just gonna win. So yeah.
Mm.
Win by decision.
I don't know, man. I mean, I made the mistake of betting against him last time.
I said.
Let me give you some stats. Real quick.
Okay.
This dude Marab has a takedown accuracy of 36%. He is fighting Umar, who has yet to be taken down. He's only been shot on 3 times. So, opponents are 0-3. So he's untested takedown defense. His brothers Khabib.
I do want to say though, but he lands 36% of his takedowns, but he shoots like 40 times. And Umar has been shot on 3 times. Marab's gonna shoot triple that. So he's gonna. I guarantee that Marab's gonna. Yeah, and that's what I said. I said Marab has the cardio advantage, but it's like when is that ever gonna come into play? Like that's not that's kind of an old weapon. A lot of people use that for Kobe Covington, but like that never gets them anywhere. And I just think Umar's grappling. This is the best grappler that he's gonna face, and a lot of people are like, oh, what about Henry Cejudo? But like he's an Olympic wrestler. He's not. Umar has the Umar. I said he has the ability to finish the fight wherever, and I think he gets it done by split decision. It will be a good competitive fight, and I think this is my main event.
Yeah, bet in the house on decision. Dude, this fight is not getting stopped. Like, we could guarantee see Bruce Buffer announcing the winner. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I have a weird feeling about Marab, dude. I think he's gonna. I mean, yeah, we'll see.
It's not the worst. I got Umar decision. I mean, Marab has a takedown defense of 80%, which is pretty elite. Like we said, it's Umar. He's different. So, 80% against not so elite wrestlers. I mean, Peter Young, solid. Henry Cejudo was obviously pretty elite. I think Umar will be able to get some takedowns, but the difference maker in this fight is that Umar will be able to neutralize some of Marab's takedowns. Marab is not a threat anywhere but on the ground. He's not even that much of a threat. He's just going to control you. This dude Umar can keep it on the feet. he's gonna win rounds, based off some of his striking, I believe. But definitely, I think if he shoots, he'll be able to land takedowns. He's more dangerous on the feet, so I think he's gonna look to keep the fight on the feet for as long as he can until he needs to switch it up. Marav's cardio is elite, but it's a 3-round fight. It's a 3-round. Umar's crazy.
Wait, is Ilya gonna be in Marav's corner?
Yes.
Is this a 3-round fight or is it 5?
It's 5. It's 5. It's a championship fight.
Oh, okay. That becomes a factor. Oh yeah, bro. I'm not sure.
Next up is the main event: Renato Moicano versus Islam Makhachev. I think this one's pretty easier said than done. I think a lot of people are going to be rooting for Moicano for taking this fight on 24 hours notice. Islam has some pretty competitive fights. If Moicano shows that he could keep this one close in some of the grappling moments, maybe stand up. I just think Islam's better everywhere. I don't see a point where Moicano can have his moments, but if he is able to have his moments and maybe keep a round close, I think he should definitely have a spot near the top 5. That it's just
It's a good take. I like that.
if Islam was fighting Arman, I might have taken Arman just because that's the best grappler that Islam has faced. He got a takedown against Islam. I think he was one of the first fighters in the UFC to take Islam down, and he was giving him really good challenges. And the striking, they both improved massively. And I think that was going to be his hardest fight of his career. So hopefully that they could get that one done, maybe in June. But
Yeah,
That takes back so far. It's so annoying.
yeah,
Especially because Moicano got it and not somebody
I
else who was
I just want to say that the UFC should be ashamed of themselves for not having a backup fighter lined up for this. They should always have a backup fighter. Oliveira should have been the backup fighter. He was already there in LA training. He should have been the backup fighter for this fight. Like it shouldn't be Renato Moicano. Should not be Renato Moicano. It should have been Charles Oliveira. Because Charles Oliveira is probably going to fight the winner of Arman versus Islam anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah, it just looks so weird to see Moicano versus Islam.
yeah,
I would
it's
have never.
looks disgusting, bro. Saryukian Makachev was gonna feed families. Their second fight was gonna feed families.
I know that would have been
Makachev by murder. At the end of the day, Makachev by murder.
yeah. I'm gonna pick it just off the top of my head. I think Islam's gonna get it done in round 2 submission.
Taking KO.
I have TKO, brother.
But it's not like Moicano is just coming off the couch. He does have a training camp, but he was training for Beneil Dariush, which is not Islam Makhachev.
I also took that into account.
And he also fought. He was training for a 3-round fight, not a 5-round fight too.
Very
So
different fighters, yep. And Moicano still has that nagging shoulder injury, I believe.
Moicano did say in December though that he is ready to be the backup fighter if anything does happen. So
And I also want to add, this is like Makhachev's prime right here. Like
yeah,
these few fights, if he doesn't lose, if he keeps the streak going, he's at the top of his game.
I just want to say, I don't want to throw this. Listen, respect to Islam Makhachev. I think he's the best fighter on the planet right now, easily. But him taking a short notice fight against Volk and Renato Moicano, it doesn't really. I'm not saying it doesn't impress me because it impressed me, but it's just looking back on it in the future, like in the next 5 years, looking at that, he has 2 short notice fights against guys that really aren't competition to him. I'm not saying that Volk was a competition. No, I'm just saying it's just kind of hard to give him credit for taking 2 short notice fights like that and getting those 2 easy wins. Because when he has fought people who had a full camp like Volk and Dustin Poirier, he struggled a lot, and that's why I might have taken Arman, but Just respect to Makachev.
I mean,
I
that
don't really
definitely.
agree with that. But Islam Makhachev is like that.
No, he
That
is
was
for
crazy. That was like,
he is for sure. But it's just when he fights people who are on a full camp like Dustin Poirier, who can
he's
propose
snapping against himself.
who can propose challenges in the grappling and in the striking. I just I don't know. I don't know. It kind of
Islam
ruins.
Poirier.
Yeah, it kind of ruined my mood to see that Arman pulled out. He has a back injury, but I'm more upset with the UFC that they didn't have Oliveira or somebody lined up, and they had to rely on Moicano. Like it just kind of ruins everything.
I
It's
just want to make a
just
point. Moicano, to win this fight, to get any success in this fight, I feel like he has to get Islam in half guard. If he's gonna get Islam in half guard, I don't think he has a fucking chance.
no.
I don't think he has a fucking chance. He's not pulling off the sub against Makhachev. He's not doing shit in the stand up. He's about to get fucking worked. He's about to get KO'd, stopped, bro. Like,
I don't even think he cares. I think he's just.
for any reason other than you want to get lucky and make a fucking band, you are retarded.
I think the
Does
only.
not stand a chance.
I think the only reason he took this fight was the money. You don't think he took this? I mean, yeah, he took this fight because it's a title. It's a title shot.
Just like RDA. It's going to be a more extreme version of RDA, bro. Have Moicano versus RDA. Like, these are two different skill levels.
It's gonna be.
Moicano could be a champ in the future. I'm not going to lie. But he is in a very tough division. So,
Can you imagine he does it? Can you just imagine that? Like, how much?
could be no.
It would be the most biggest upset of all
I
time.
think he'd be pressed. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to
I
see
think
it.
I don't care what anybody says. That would be the biggest upset of all time.
He's just going to lose right away. What does it even matter? Big fucking championship. If he wins all of it. I mean, like, he's still a champion, but he's just going to lose right away.
So that means that Islam. So it means Islam's gonna fight Arman probably in the summertime, and then in Abu Dhabi in October against Oliveira, and that means probably they'll set up an April match maybe against Taporia. We'll see. We'll see how everything shakes up, but it's just kind of ruined my mood that the UFC didn't have anybody lined up for that, knowing the fact that it should always be like that for a title fight. There should always be a backup fighter just in case anybody in that fight pulls out in the championship. That's your moneymaker. That's your main event, and you're not gonna put Oliveira, who can train, who can have a full camp preparing for any of those fighters who's already fought, and you're gonna put Moicano, like, really.
That's, yeah.
It's just very unprepared.
Yeah, I just want to add, bro, like earlier when we were talking about, I think it was the Gustav fight,
Hmm.
I was definitely reading the wrong notes. And I
Yeah, I know you said Spivak, but it's I know it's all right.
and I was talking about his arm bar. It's because they got I was reading the wrong notes, bro. And I knew it right after the second one.
No, it's all
I
right.
had to make that point so I didn't see the cut.
Um,
But I mean, overall, boys, I think this is an absolute banger event. I mean, I know that there's kind of, but I don't know.
a lot of injuries, but it's all right. It's kicking off the year with a strong start with some really good fights. It's not gonna get any better though. It's not gonna get any better next month. Maybe they'll put Dariush on the card on the main card next month. Maybe they'll find a fighter for him.
After the night, that isn't as long because like that's a fucking
Yeah, that's just.
not for more like crazy odds. Sopaj. Sopaj is the lock of the night.
Hmm.
I really like this dude's change. I think he can get a KO. I'm actually pretty confident he'll get an early KO. More confident than most standard picks.
Hmm.
I think going for a banger of a card, dude. I don't hate this. Even the earlier fights, Tajir Carpenter's kind of ass.
Yeah.
Ass. But then we got Sopaj. We get to see Nakamura, which is an interesting prospect. We're gonna find out if he's partially the real deal or not. I mean, it's not like a huge test, but it's his biggest test yet. Grant Dawson, Diego Ferreira, that's a banger if Grant Dawson doesn't keep it on the fucking ground the whole entire fight. I'm very excited to see Zach Reese fight, even though his opponent came in on short notice. I love to see this dude fight. He's fucking very entertaining. Nato Sergey, tough. Talbot, another great prospect, very popular. Tough.
Carpenter gets tested too against a tough rock. So
Big step up. Ruskov, good off, tough. Bro, I'm not retarded. That's why I messed up my notes.
Um,
Kevin Holland, banger. Coco Soccer, banger. Umar banger. We're in for a good card, bro. Definitely, there's gonna be some better cards down the line.
it needs to get better. March
They gave us all the fights that we wanted.
March needs to really revive. Like that's really when the UFC needs to start to pick it up, because the February pay-per-view.
DDP, Strickland coming.
I think the best card in February is Adesanya Imavov. I think that's the best card. Like, it's better than the pay-per-view. They have
What's the undercut?
Michael Venom Page versus Shara Bullet.
Yeah.
Trying to think of other fights on there, but that's like.
I don't know who to pick for that one. Because I think both of them are overrated. MVP and Sure. I think they're both overhyped. But, like, damn sure surprised me with that fucking knockout.
It's just he's fighting a very unorthodox fighter for the first time.
It's a big jump. It's such a big jump.
But yeah. So that'll wrap up the video. Go follow us on Instagram on the MMA Vault. Go follow us on X, the MMA Vault.
We'll be out for the next events, even the fight nights too.
Yep, we're gonna be covering fight nights, pay-per-views, everything.
Might have to hit some live streams in the very far part. Yeah, not that far, but down the line.
Thank God.
Anyone would watch a live.
Thank God we recorded before Armin pulled out.
Not trying to do a live to 0 viewers, though. I'm not really any point in that.
Yeah, but thank God that. Yeah,
Thank you for fucking watching.
thank you for watching.
If you enjoyed it, we'll be tune in, sub, all that.
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe.
If you made it this far in the video, no one probably did. Comment boards. Come on.
All right.